I'm going to go over a couple more tips and tricks for pixel survival. It's been a while since I've done one of those. So, yeah, here we go. The first one, and this is how I am going to start every single tips and tricks video, is how to auto-attack, because it is what makes the game playable. So if you hold A, go into your inventory, let go of A, and exit your inventory, your character will attack without you hitting anything. You can jump, you can move around. So, if you don't already know about this, please start doing this. It's so helpful. If you get good at it, you can do it that fast. You see that? Just jump A, inventory, exit inventory, and like that. Alright, so that's number one, quick and easy out of the way. The next one, and this one is geared towards newer players, and this is plan ahead what you want to do in this game, because the higher end stuff takes so long to get. You don't want to waste time and resources doing something that won't matter. So I recommend coming over to this lady right here, looking through all the armor and whatnot, and seeing what you want to make. Because keep in mind, unless you get really lucky, you are probably going to be using, let me scroll down to them, the Armoring 5s, which give 40 defense. And your goal should get up to 151 defense before trying to create a special build, as that's what will let you do Nightmare Valley and all the harder stuff. Once you get to 151, then you can decide if you want to just pump defense, go for high health and high defense, or high damage and defense. Try to get there first. If you go to the blacksmith, one of the ones I recommend is the Skull Dress path, as it's relatively cheap, and you only need Skull Dress 3 to get up to 151, using Skull Dress 3, Moon Clips 4, and Ghost Hat, or you can go straight up to Skull Dress 4 if you don't want to do that. Hell Armor is also pretty good. Again, Hell Armor 1's very cheap, and early game armor, even if you're not going for Hell Armor, you should make. But then you can get up to 2. 3 is what you need to get to 151, but you can go all the way up to Hell Armor 4, which gives really good stats. And probably the most unorthodox method, I'd say, is Modena Dress. This one's a little more expensive, but the stats are really good if you get the first one to drop and you make all these. But even if you don't want to do any of those picks, just make sure you plan ahead as to what you're going to do. Now, the next one has to do with opening silver keys up here, as because you get them from the ad chests, you're probably going to build up a bunch of silver keys. And I know for me, it is a pain to sit there, open them all, and then have to spend like 10-15 minutes just selling items so I can get the ones I want. And so a way you can kind of reduce this is start off with all the items you want in your inventory. So if I go to my screenshots real quick, this is what I roll with. I have all of these items in my inventory when I start opening my silver keys. That way I don't have to try to get them to drop. And then I don't have to worry about spending all that time selling the other items. I know this is what I want, I get it, and I can just leave the game and start grinding again. Now, there are some other valuable items I can drop. So, for example, blue moons and monster hides, which are used to make water crystals and fire crystals. So if you need those, have those in your inventory. There's also iron bars. So if you need iron bars for whatever reason, you could do that. And if you are a brand new player, I'd say just open them, as they can have gear that's good for you. But if you're a mid-game or even end-game player, I recommend just throwing this stuff in your inventory, opening all your keys, and then not even really keeping what's left, because it takes so long for the couple thousand coins you get out of it. Oh, whoopsie. Alright, the next one is about Vulcan farming, which is what I do a lot of. And a lot of people, when they do things like Nightmare Valley or Forbidden City, right, they kind of have it in their mind that when you go in, you have to kill everything. So go in here, kill these guys, because all the enemies can drop good loot. But if all you need is Vulcan and Erbium, you can do what's called an ore run. And for these, I'll reset real quick, so it'll be a fresh run. All you do is ignore all the enemies and mine all the ore on the map. So, my path for this is going to the left and then to the right, as this covers a lot of ground without backtracking, but also it ignores this pit right here. This is one of the most dangerous parts that doesn't have to do with enemies, and so being able to skip having to jump up or down through there saves you a lot of pointless deaths. So if you just follow the path that I'm doing, assuming you have 151 defense, you can cover this whole area, look for any Vulcan or Erbium spawns. Again, that right there is the only part of backtracking. Other than that, it's just progress. And when you get there, You just mine the ore and keep moving. Again, I'm skipping all the enemies. You don't need to kill them. And this way, you can get all the Erbium and Vulcan you need without taking extra time killing enemies if you don't need Dark Hearts or Nightmare Ore. Now, if you do need those things, it is still good to kill them. With the Queens, because they're an easier boss, you can kill them if you want to. I recommend only killing them if it's easy. So right here, there's no real enemies nearby, so I would usually probably kill her. But say there's another boss near me, or there's so many enemies it would take me a while to clear them out, then I would just skip her. In this case, I'm just going to skip the Queen, because it's not really worth it. So we'll keep going. And again, you don't have to exit through the portal. So with this strat, you're going to go through the same path I've been showing, mining any Erbium or Vulcan you see. Again, I highly recommend having a healing staff 4 or 5, or an ample amount of potions, as you are going to have to out-heal a bunch of mobs. But once you get to sort of this end section, right? So I have this Vulcan here I need to mine. But once you get to this end section, then you just suicide and restart. Hitting the little bomb button in the corner. So we get here. Again, I didn't have to because I was low. But right there, you would just hit the little bomb, reset, and do it again. And now, probably the last tip for the video, this actually has to do with killing, is when you are going for a kill run, like say I need Dark Hearts, this doesn't, if you're playing solo, try to group up mobs as much as you can to speed up the process. So a great example of this is if I go over to this right section, instead of killing all these mobs, then going down here and killing all these mobs, and so on, if you knock all the mobs down together, you can kill them all at once, and so instead of having to take the time it takes to kill a mob 4 separate times, you only have to do it once. So like that, we knock all the mobs down, we have them down here, we're going to push them down to the next one, just like that, and we're going to do it one more time. Again, the bottom section is a little scary, because that's where all the bosses are, so we're going to leave it right here, but we're going to knock all these guys down. Right, let them fall, because again, they can track you from under the floor. So then we're just going to jump down here and start killing them. And now, instead of having to do that 4 separate times, we only have to do it 1 singular time. And we have all our mobs just grouped up, nice and easy to kill. I actually might die here, hold on. Now, you have to be careful with this, because you have to play smarter. If you do get hit, instead of getting hit by 1 or 2 mobs, you're getting hit by all the mobs at once. But you're also dealing way more damage. Instead of hitting each mob 1 time, you're hitting the mob way more times. So it's kind of high risk, high reward, as you're getting to get through the activity way faster, but there's more of a chance of dying. So if you're not confident in your ability to survive, then don't do the strategy. Like I just died right there. But if you know what you're doing, I highly recommend trying that out. That's everything I had for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you want to see next. Have a good day.